Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It's been a hot minute. We were off for a week. Texas
On accident.
Texas shut down. Like the whole state couldn't get in or out. I was stuck in Iowa. David was stuck at his house with no power. You had water?
We had water. Yeah, we woke up at 2 a.m. on Monday, and we heard like the heat shut off, and everything died, and started to get a little bit cold, and I was like, it's fine. This power's gonna kick back on here any minute, and 60 hours later, it's like Wednesday night. We haven't had heat the whole time. We started to see our breath by the end. It was cold, but we hunkered down. We had set up a tent and some sleeping bags in the living room, and we still had a gas stove, so we were able to heat up food, boil water, and our water never shut off, which was great for us. Some of our neighbors had a burst pipe. We had people were losing water, and a lot of people had it a lot worse than us. So we were lucky as a family. We got to light some candles, play some board games, and hang out. But
It's old school.
yeah, I couldn't do any work. I mean, for the first day, I was able to turn on the hotspot on my phone, and I had like 35% battery on my computer when I woke up on Monday. So it didn't last very long, but was able to get a little bit done. But then all of a sudden, it was like, well,
Hanging out.
rely on the rest of the team, and
You're in survival mode at that point.
we're in survival mode. Yeah.
Hell with work. Let's live.
Yes. Yeah. So, but I mean, I think it'll be one of those things, because we were safe and we had everything we needed. It'll be one of those things that we'll look back on like 5 years from now, like a good memory,
Yeah, I guess. A memorable memory.
Yes.
Nonetheless, I was, of course, in Iowa for the Captain's Cup. Amazing event. The women, they wrestled their tails off. Legends of the sport were there. Tricia Saunders, Christy Davis, Afsoon Johnston, just to name a few. Sarah McMahon, what was another coach? It was a lot of fun to see these women come together, not only on the mat competing, but off the mat, man. The camaraderie that they have was great. Team Tamara won. I believe Amy Fernside goes down 9-0 to Alyssa Lampy, comes back and wins. What was it? 14. She did tech her. It was a widespread.
Yeah.
And that was the difference in the duel.
I mean, what was that like? One of the things that we had talked about with after the draft was like, okay, the energy around these women and women's wrestling and the personalities are different than what you get in men's wrestling, especially teams that kind of were put together just a few weeks before the event. What was the energy like in the room for that finals match? Because yeah, I mean, that if that 50-kilo match goes the other way,
Match is over.
the duel's over. What was the energy like in the room?
Well, it's funny you say it, because I don't know if you watch the draft or how much you remember, but Team Tamara, they taught. I mean, she drafted Diamond Guilford first, and they're Tamara and Diamond are like loud, boisterous, have fun, lots of energy, and they were like, our team's all about energy, and we want energy. We're high energy. We need high energy. And man, no doubt, it I don't know if that's the reason, but it paid off.
Yeah.
And they won, and they were high energy, and Fernside getting that big win, and the team won out. It was great. Shout out to Macy Kilty, big weekend. She won all her matches. She beat
Mallory Velty.
Thank you, Mallory Velty, world bronze medalist. That was I think that was the first match of the entire event.
And I mean, Macy Kilty is somebody who now, I mean, she just wrestled at Henry de Glane in France and beat a world champ there from Ukraine, multiple time world medalist. And it was like, that was a signal like, okay, we might have a challenger for Kayla Miracle at 62 kilos. Now, she wrestled Kayla in the finals of that event, and Macy Kayla was really in control of that match. But man, another big win for Macy Kilty, and it's like, all right, this Olympic year being prolonged, it might have been, it's good for some people, bad for others. Macy Kilty, it seems like it's really been good for her.
Absolutely. She's obviously young and on the come up, and has had a lot of success at the age level, and now you're seeing her transition into the senior level ranks, and like not just like nibble for a bite, but like having a plate to herself and being like, yo, I'm here to eat and I'm here to compete.
How about this? I heard Askren talking about this last week on FRL. Macy's been competing against senior level athletes for a long time, and she's been on age level world teams for so long that she seems like, of course she's a senior level athlete. I think she's 19 years old.
She's got her best years are ahead of her.
Yes.
And that's exciting to see. Yeah. So and then we got stuck in Iowa because Texas is shut down. You could not get back. Flights canceled. Our Monday flight was canceled. Our Tuesday flight was canceled. And I could see ahead that we're not getting home Wednesday, maybe Thursday, or I don't even know. So I rented a car and bounced and drove back to St. Louis to see my parents who are in their 80s and have the vaccine shots. And it was I hadn't seen them for forever and got to see all 5 of my siblings that lived there in a 2-day stretch. So it was awesome. And finally made it back home. Space stayed in Iowa.
Yeah.
He
so
rolled the dice and he didn't get home till Friday.
So you were supposed to fly out Monday, and then what happened? Your plane got pushed back by a day, and that's
exactly
on Tuesday you decided, all right, I'm not sticking around here for the inevitable week.
Yes. Yes. Tuesday rolled around. It was Tuesday got canceled. Now it's a Wednesday flight, and I was like, okay, is this really gonna be? Or are we gonna get to Minneapolis and then be stuck there because we can't get back to Austin?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I love you, Spay, but I'd rather see my family.
I think Spay got stuck in a bunch of. He got stuck in Iowa, and then he got a flight, the first leg, which was to Minneapolis, and then he got stuck there for a night.
A couple nights, I think. He didn't go home till Friday.
And then he got a connection from Minneapolis to Houston, and then he got stuck in Houston.
I don't think he ever went to Houston.
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to go. Maybe I'm mistaken here. There's a lot of planes, trains, and automobiles. Nice, the trains. But
yeah, and then JD.
JD was with us.
He got on a connecting flight to Atlanta.
Well, I think he went to Minneapolis, and then he finally got to Atlanta, and then Christian happened to be in Virginia, driving back and picked JD up in Atlanta and got back here to Austin. So
yeah, wild.
It was. I've been flying like this for 12, almost 13 years, and I've never been stuck somewhere multiple days, and it happened.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so enough of the wrap up. Well, that's why we had no shows last week. We just weren't anywhere.
Yeah.
And actually yesterday evening, I recorded an interview. I got to talk with Bubba Jenkins, and his schedule doesn't line up to where he can come on the show live when it is live right now at 10:30 East, 10:30 Central, 11:30 in the morning on the East Coast. So I recorded an interview with him yesterday, and we're gonna play it this morning. And it's vintage Bubba. It's entertainment all the way from start to finish. We talk about his MMA career. He's fighting in a tournament for $1 million, transferring to Arizona State, what that was like. And then we talk about burying the hatchet with Kale, among a few other things. But the always entertaining Bubba Jenkins. And here you go. Let it rip. That's going to do it. Take it away. All right, Bubba Jenkins. We're back with the one and only. And you're in sunny Las Vegas. Tell me what's going on, what you getting ready for.
Man, I'm the Green Valley head coach, so I'm just repping my squad. We ain't there yet, but we always repping. Season shut down, so I'm just getting a couple guys together, starting some wrestling up. But man, the weather's getting hot. Summer's coming. It's gonna be suns out, guns out time. So we just getting in shape. April's coming. I got to fight April 23rd. I don't know who I'm fighting. I mean, they've been putting some fillers out there, you know what I'm saying? They've been throwing some names around, but we're going to crash on someone where we fighting in the cage or fighting in the crowd. On the 23rd, I'm going down.
Nice. And this is a tournament. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a tournament. It's the PFL tournament, $1 million champion. It's, a little more than $1 million for me, but, it's $1 million fight for the champ.
$1 million, Bubba. What it's 3 matches, right? You're starting the quarterfinals and win. First of all, is it it's at least a little money guaranteed each fight, and then the end?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why it's more than $1 million for some of us. Some of them, I don't know who their manager is. I don't know who's talking for them, but I got me a good deal. You know what I'm saying? I got better bread than some of them punters in the NFL. So I'm looking at a good situation right now as far as a fighter. But honestly, man, yeah, there's money guaranteed every fight, and even if you lose in some of these fights, which I have, that ain't my path, but I'm just letting people know.
Yeah.
If you lose, there are opportunities for other people to jump back in because sometimes you fight twice in a night and things like that. So yeah, man, there's opportunity for everything and everyone. I like it. I like the league. I like the fact that it's tournament, and y'all know how I get down in tough brackets.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Last thing on this before we get to the toughest bracket. If you win 3 fights and you win $1 million, what does that do? How does that change your life? What do you buy something big? You put it all. You invest it. You buy Bitcoin. Do you buy GameStop? Do you just sit on and do nothing?
I'm definitely gonna invest it. I gotta, I'm put some of it into my headquarters. I gotta build the Batman cave, the Batman tunnel. I gotta build my headquarters where I'm at here in Vegas. I'm opening a gym, opening a club. I got a new team. I'm in the process of everything new, right? So
Okay.
if I won $1 million, I'd probably buy me a new headquarters, sit the rest away, and do some investments, and just send messages out from my headquarters like a beast.
Are
That's
you
what I would do.
you're starting a club right now though, regardless?
Oh yeah. No, I'm opening a gym.
What's
Me and Dewey Cooper just opened a brand new, out here in Phoenix, 10,000 square feet. It's called the Big Scary Gym. It's an easy little Big Scary Gym, and Team Relentless is my squad, and we call us BK MMA. We're gonna go from MMA, Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, all that. And I'm obviously starting Team Relentless, the wrestling club, Bubba J's Wrestling Club out here in Henderson, under in that gym. So I mean, we about to get the Dollar mats. We about to be wall to wall mats, and it's gonna be a whole facility, man. We're trying to rival the biggest MMA gyms in the world, and it's fight capital. So it's Vegas. We out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, best of luck with that.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be following along. Okay, and you mentioned right when you get into tough brackets, man, you get it done, or you get there and you have some success. We had this film. It's been a month or two now. It came out, but toughest bracket ever. 2 episodes. We all know 2008 149-pound bracket. I guess just your initial thoughts on seeing the film, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we got right, what we got wrong, anything like that.
Yeah, man, I like the film a lot. I'm a big character, so I'm just gonna say, from my perspective, and this is, I'm gonna go. Mama said, y'all ain't show her boy enough. That's what Mama said. Mama said, yeah, I ain't getting enough camera time, and I was quotable, was tweetable, good for the camera. Y'all had to put in who y'all had to put in, but honestly, I thought I enjoyed it a lot. Me and my family, we did have a little watch party for the 2 episodes, man, and we sat down on the big screen and just kept it and watched it intensely. And I paused, some of these things and told some backstories. I gave the family like the inside scoop of this and that. So it was probably been a pretty cool documentary to see how, like, I paused in this scene, and then he was talking trash right before this, and then I told him that, and then we go out and wrestle, and then so I gave him the behind scoop. So it was a pretty cool little event. I mean, we turned a little hour documentary into a little 3 hour event. Had some drinks, and it was fun, man.
You mentioned he was talking smack. I was talking smack. Is there? Are you talking about anything specific?
Yeah, man. One time I was about to fight Metcalf before the Big Ten finals. I went up to shake his hand after I won in the semis. We had our year that we've had. He beat me in Hawkeyes, and I was up 6-1. He beat me in the Hawkeye Stadium, and this, that, and the third. But I felt like, okay, every time I lost to Metcalf, let's be real. Every time I lost to Metcalf, I was surprised. It wasn't like don't get it. I'm like 0-7 or 0-6, but I was surprised every time.
Hey, can you hold on one
So
second?
yeah,
It says poor connection. Can you see me?
yeah, I can see you.
Okay. All right. It started back. All right. Start back up with you lost 6 times to Metcalf, 7 times.
Yeah, yeah. I flew to New York on a helicopter to wrestle him on a damn what is it, an aircraft carrier, just so I can get that dub back. And I didn't get it then either. And I'm searching for that dub. So if he wanted to run it back in the cage or something, I'm only fighting, so we can run that back. But yeah, man, me and him had a little mix up, and I told him then and there, man, I would definitely fight you if I didn't have to wrestle you, tomorrow or tonight. I don't know if that match was later that night or later in the day or the next day, but I came up to him. He was sitting in the crowd, and I had just wrestled my match, and I basically got my stuff, and I kind of walked past the Iowa sign, and I basically was like, "Man, good luck." I'm a cool dude. I'm real, so I was just like, "Man, good luck," for the match, and I kind of held my hand out, and he kind of just looked at me, like, just had his hand. I had my hand out, and he just kind of looked at me. And it was in State College, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing. We was in Pennsylvania, and I'm the man in that area. It ain't nothing to meet you outside, you know what I'm saying? So I said, man, you lucky we got to wrestle, and like, we need this. Like, I'm trying to get in that ass later. So if I was to punch you in the face right now, I'd be in the wrong. But I came over here as a respect to like show due diligence. But you gonna be a dick. That's fine. You can be a dick, but I'm telling you, if this shit go left, you ain't pushing me out no backflip. I can tell you that right now. So, That was a little talk, that little trash talk that we had before the, before the Big Ten finals and things like that. So yeah, man, it got real though in that bracket in those years. You know, even me and Caldwell were good friends the night before, but in the beginning of that match, I tried to smack him in his head. You know, I tried to
Right.
slap the hell out of him. You know, me and Burroughs went back and forth, but I still beat Burroughs with a middle school move, switcheroonie. I hit him with the switcheroonie, baby, and I got up out of there. So. Uh, it was real love. It was real passionate as far as wanting to win. Everybody was driving everybody. That's what I really see most in it, man. I mean, Palmer was getting his dubs. Caldwell was getting his. He pinned Metcalf, and then this guy beat that guy. Burroughs was beating Torella. I mean, everything was going crazy in that year, in that season. That you really couldn't tell. You like you said, you could have 10 tournaments and it'd be a different champion or different lineup every time. And it was just, and we didn't even really get to mention some of the honorable guys like the Bryce Hadorises, and I mean some of the real tough dudes that were in those brackets that like were all Americans multiple times, but they'll never be mentioned because that bracket had 8 national champ type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, and when you go through something, right, that year, that tournament, that weekend, you're seeing it from your perspective, and that's probably how it lives in your memory, unless you go. But seeing it told by everybody who wrestled in the bracket and some of us, what our takes on it, I don't know. Was there anything different, anything new, like seeing it from a different point of view?
Yeah, man, it was pretty interesting to see their take. The other wrestlers, seeing Burroughs talk, seeing Palmer talk, seeing Metcalf, and it was pretty cool to from my perspective because I am a friendly person and I care about what the other athletes think and say. You know what I'm saying? After the training, not I don't care what you think or say before if we're about to compete, but like
Sure.
afterwards, I want to leave a resounding impression on people. Whether it's a good, bad, whether they don't like me, they do like me, they love me, they don't love me. You're gonna remember Bubba J. So that was me trying to, kind of get what the wrestling world was giving me at the time in person. And you guys kind of got, the backstories of it and collected it in the documentary. So I thought that was really cool to really get behind the scenes like that. And I'm always behind the scenes with the camera, with people. And, I have some amazing behind the scene cameras with a lot of famous people because I guess I'm one of those people that people just like to open up and talk to. So to see that on camera and get it from that perspective was pretty cool.
Um, did you learn anything that you didn't already know?
Um, did I learn anything that I didn't already know? Um, no, no, no. I didn't learn anything new. I'd have to rerun it back and see what I thought was new, but I pretty much, yeah, I was privy to most everything, man. It was the only thing that was new was like me being anticipated like I was wrestling again. I haven't got those butterflies, knowing the results of all of it, knowing everything would happen. I haven't got those butterflies, even though I was with the family for an event like that in a while. You know what I mean? It was like, man, I'm about to go wrestle Metcalf tonight. And when they were telling me about the documentary dropping, people were hitting me up like, oh, that drop really dropping. They're gonna drop it at 12. It was like the new Jordans were coming out or something, and people were really hyped about it. And that was dope, man. I thought that was really cool. So man, shout outs to Flo, shout outs to everybody who put that together. All the guys, man, that really sat down and gave their voice to the documentary and the people behind the scenes. Man, I need some of that film. That's for sure. I don't know where y'all got some of that film on me at, but I need that. So, man, it was a beautiful thing to see, man. It was awesome.
Sweet. I don't want to skip ahead, right? I'm sure the whole leaving Penn State thing's been done and overdone, but I want to get just past that to once it's decided that you're leaving. What was you told a recruiting story, I think, of Lance Palmer and, the typical kind of recruiting stories, right? Out in football games and this and that. But like, this is it's not a typical recruiting story. It's now you're leaving one college for another. And how was that recruiting process like? And I don't know, season's probably already started. So what was it like trying to find a new home? And how was the recruiting process different from a typical recruiting process then?
Man, it was terrible trying to find a new home because I got released almost the worst time possible. And me and Kale squashed our little thing. I wrestled North not that long ago. If North want to fight, hit me up. But anyways, me and Kale squashed our little thing. I got no hard feelings from, but they made it a little bit difficult for me to move around. They didn't allow my transcripts to go to certain schools because of how highly they were ranked and different things. So he was being strategic about where he would place me or where I was allowed to be placed. In the sense that he didn't. I'm a good wrestler still, and I definitely, you put a fire under my ass, I might come back and try to get your ass, which what I'm saying, it eventually happened. So, but nonetheless, I wasn't allowed to go to certain schools. I wasn't allowed to talk to certain coaches for transcripts and things like that. I got released on December 19th. The school system shuts down December 21st. You have to be back in school and enrolled and eligible before January 11th, I believe. But the school doesn't open up until January 9th. So from 2 days, from the 19th, 20th, and 21st, and all the Christmas break with the school shut down, I basically had 4 days to get my school, the new school, to recruit me, transcripts, get elected. I mean, get my. It was just a process. It's a whole process. I had to get a petition just to get extra credits because Arizona State or Penn State didn't accept 41 or something kind of credits. It was something where the math had to work to where Bubba J I had to do some work to just get on the mat, man, just to stay eligible, not even stay eligible, just to be eligible to wrestle for another university in that year. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to sit out a year and all this other stuff, right? So it was a little bit difficult, man. But I had Brian Stiff being a guy that went to my high school and set all kinds of records, being an NCAA finalist and someone who wrestled for Arizona State and now on the staff. He was always someone hit me up, man. Hey, everything good? This is what they were supposed to do for you. This is what your money was supposed to be like. He was just, giving me the ropes, like an older brother, like an older cousin who went to the same kind of thing. And because we went to the same high schools, because we had the same coach, because we had that strong connection, and they were outside the top 15 schools that Kale had as a perimeter. Like I couldn't be released to the top 15 schools. And at that time, Arizona State was like 18th or 17th or something like that. We finished in sixth. Or we finished in fifth that year with like six dudes. I ain't saying that, it was me and Anthony and, we was putting up all kinds of points, getting pinned to the finals and whatnot. But I'm just saying, me and Anthony took a school that was ranked 18th when they were recruiting me, and we took them all the way to fifth. And it was a wonderful experience. And coming out to Arizona State as they rolled out the red carpet, I know for a fact I would not have been the wrestler that I was had I went to Arizona State first. Not because of the program or anything like that, but because of the distractions. The distractions, man. You see people crashing on campus because they can't keep focus. It's a problem out there. So if I was a young freshman, not knowing how to balance life and school and partying, I would not have been the bad man that I was, straight up, because I went there as a mature, wanting to get back, wanting to get to the finals, wanting to be a champion. I went there with more maturity than I ever had with Kale or as a freshman or sophomore at Penn State. So it was a great experience after I got past that big wall of you can't go here, you ain't going there, we got to release you here, we got to talk to this school, we got to get a petition, it was so much. But once I got on the mat, it was like being home. It was like being home. So the recruiting was different second time around. It was beautiful.
Sure. And you mentioned, right, you won, Anthony won, and obviously he's got one leg. It's different. Did you ever wrestle with him, spar with him, train with him? And if
Yeah.
so, maybe tell me about the first time, right? There's got to be a different feel. Upper body, he might be bigger or stronger than you. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I wrestled with him a couple of times. Back in my school, we warm up with knee wrestling. So I'm the captain of the team. So sometimes I make the guys knee wrestling, and it's just like you just yell out knee wrestling, and everybody drops their knee and just grabs the nearest person, and you can grab them from behind. Don't matter. You're all on your knees. So we're just wrestling. It's just a warm up. You're kind of just flowing. And I've grabbed him a couple times. And there's one time I actually remember he was about to tilt me. He lapped me up, and the ball and chain that he loves to do, and he's gotten me till, and I'm feeling like this pressure on top is serious. It was no joke. But I can't forget that at that time we weren't even cutting weight, so he's probably a little bit bigger than he's supposed to be, but also so was I. So nonetheless, he started tilting me, and I got enough balance, almost like how the Tough Bracket show turned out, where Caldwell was cradling me, and something happened at the last minute, and I just kind of bursted out. I was basically in the same situation with Anthony Robles, and I basically hit him with like a kind of a cradle kind of thing, and I just lifted us up. Like he was on his way to tell me, I got my balance, and I just picked his 130-pound ass up. Like, no, dog, you ain't about to tilt me in front of everybody, man. I'm captain of the team, dog. I'm 170 pounds right now. Get out of here. So, yeah, man, I definitely didn't mess with him on bottom, but yeah, he was a specimen. His hands were bigger than mine, and they were, once he grabbed you, you were grabbed, man. He's been gripping all his life with those, he runs miles with the crutches. So his hand grip and his tilt and the way he can control his hips because of the lack thereof, man, it's a problem to deal with. It's a real problem. So I'm excited for his movie to come out too, man. He just hit me with a note that they doing it. The COVID shut some stuff down, but man, I can't wait for that movie. I don't know who's gonna play me, but they better do a good job. You know what I'm saying?
If you had it your way, who would play you?
Man, Nate Parker. If I had it my way, Nate Parker would pay me because he's the best in the game right now. His movie American Skin just came out, amazing movie, and he's a personal friend, so he knows me. He know how I would swag in, how I would if they was having me at the party or something, he know how I would get down there. You know what I'm saying? So if him being a personal friend, someone I can speak into his ear, man, I would love for that to happen. But I mean, Bubba J's story ain't done yet. I'm gonna get my own movie. We gonna see. We gonna see what played me. I might play me soon.
All right. So we all know the story, right? You go out, you win a national title, you pin David in the finals. Um, Anthony wins. You guys take fifth, I think, with like 5 or 6 guys. And then, I don't know, in the ensuing spring, I believe, this like series of YouTube videos pop up. And it's Bubba J with like a styrofoam cup and a trophy or something behind you. What was the... Was that something you just in the spot? You thought I'm going to do this, and you turned the camera on. Was there planning behind this?
Man, it was just me being entertaining like I am, like I always am, just being my character, just being myself, man. What I really wanted to do at that time was show another side of a champion. Really, I didn't really have a plot, a plan, but I wanted to show people that, yeah, man, it was great to work hard and do all those things. And yeah, I became a national champion. And I didn't really, honestly, right before those videos, I probably cried for the first time in my life for joy. You know what I mean? Like I was watching a highlight or something like that, and it was showing me win. And like that was the first time, even that I know some people break down on the mat and they get those tears in the back, but the whole time, I mean, even for a week after, I was still on cloud nine in the sense, as far as me just being the champ and done what I had did, to who I did it to, where I did it at, like the whole story behind it had me still on clouds. So when I got back, there was a moment to where I got to decompress and just see really from a different perspective. Man, you were talking all that, you said all that, and man, like you really did that thing. It was a moment to myself. It was a moment that I like, man, it hit me, and I actually shed a tear by myself. And in the moment, no one was around, and I was like, man, I definitely got to show the world at that time another side to the champion, another side to a champion, another side of, yeah, man, we work hard, we grind, we do the hard schoolwork. We're student athletes, but man, when you finally achieve that goal, you might as well show the world and talk about it, in front of the people. And I was kind of doing like an open interview, who was the fastest guy I ever wrestled, and just who I thought was the realest real. Some of those stuffs were just off the fly, but I was me just trying to show another side and be a little tipsy or be a little whatever it was. I was just having fun and being champ.
Yeah, I might maybe tip. Maybe there's some Hennessy involved if I
And
remember
maybe there was,
correctly now.
maybe there were some things around.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah.
I'm 21 now. That's all that matters.
Fair enough. You brought this up closer to the beginning, right? You buried the hatchet with Kale, which is great. Um, and I don't know when it got buried. If it was recently when you, but regardless, what was it when he called you or whoever? I guess I don't know if it was him. It's 5 months ago or however long ago it was, and said, "Hey, we want you to wrestle Nolf." Um, was it hell yeah? Was it let me think? Was it no way? And then you changed your mind, or somewhere in between?
Well, I got the word from like 5 people. Like it was like like as if Kale was hit the 911 button and everybody was reaching out to me. Kale got that pull, man. Hey, I need to talk to Bubba, and everybody's like, Bubba Jenkins, Kale needs to talk to you. You know, it was like, oh, I got hit up in my DMs and my social media and my Facebook and my phone. I'm like, man, he put the ABB out on me, dog. Let me find out. Kale got people reaching me in different places, but I got hit by a couple different people, and there were some close people that hit me that I was just like, okay, this must be real. And when I hit him back, he actually texted me, "It's one of your top favorite people." He's one of your top favorite 5 people. You know, so he started off with a bunch of humor, and it was a great breaking of the ice. You know, and I got to apologize in a sense. You know, I wasn't the whole always in the right. You know, I'm gonna turn out to be right on the right side of history as far as winning the match and going and do what I did. But I was very immature. I definitely could have taken some more time to hear him out and do some other things. And you know, and then again, he could have done some different things in my eyes as well. But I got the time to really tell him that, you know, man, I'm glad we get to squash this. Let's go ahead and get this North thing. He basically told me nobody wanted to wrestle North, and they couldn't find anybody that can get it, so they might as well hit me up. And you know, that's a good name. And I said, man, if you're gonna put some money in my bag, put some food on my table, then I'm out there, man. We can squash this beef, and I can, you know, deal with my Pennsylvania family, because you know it's hard to go back to Pennsylvania. They don't look at me the same, you know. They envy me a little bit. They got that we still feel the sting on that one. So you know, I guess me kind of going back to North and going back to the wrestling thing, taking pictures, and kind of take a sting away a little bit. But yeah, it was cool, and it was a refreshing thing to like bury that hatchet. You know, me and a lot of the guys at Penn State that really kind of put up that wall. We are now cool again.
Cool. All right, give me 1 second. Just a poor connection. Oh, there we go. Okay, I want to change topics again, maybe a little bit more serious side, but however you want to take it. But it's Black History Month. So when you were growing up, you know, who inspired you? Who'd you look up to? Who gave you motivation? Yeah.
Man, Muhammad Ali, of course, guys. Man, that was my biggest role model because who he was on and off the mat. Um, he stood for so much. He stood for so much more than just being the champion or just, you know, winning trophies and things like that. So many people are about the rings and only the things they can achieve in their sport. But I'm about leaving an inheritance. I'm about leaving, you know, something big behind. And Muhammad Ali, he will be forever known as one of the greatest or the greatest or the GOAT. I mean, because he just statistically wasn't the best fighter, but because he was who he was as an impressionist, as a person, he left a lasting thing. You couldn't say that wasn't greatness. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know if I'll ever be in the NCAA Hall of Fame for, you know, the matches and things that we did with the toughest brackets. But when you talk about what we did and who we were and what generation of wrestling we're in, you can't look at my story and tell me that wasn't greatness. You know, there was times that you had to be better than good just to beat some of these great guys. I was wrestling great opponents and winning. Therein lies legendary type things that makes you legend. So we did some legendary things that made us legend. We did some historical things that will put us forever in history. But at the end of the day, it's all about how you get it done with the people you love and the people you leave an impression on. And Muhammad Ali showed a lot of love, left a lot of impressions, and still touches lives even though he's not living. It's a living word. I try to give out a living word. I say something today that changes someone's tomorrow, and that's what I'm here for.
I like it. What does Black History Month mean to you?
Oh man, it's the shortest month. I don't know what's up with that, you know what I'm saying? But it's my birthday month. I turned, you know, I ain't gonna tell y'all what age I turned, but I'm a pretty penny right now. And so at the beginning of the month, I always love, you gotta love Black History Month as a black man, and as it being in my birthday. I usually wear all black all month, but you know, I'm in my Green Valley shirt today. But usually, man, it's just a moment to really reflect on how far we've come. As you know, a nation, as black people, as you know, friends and families of people who are not African Americans, how much they have grown in understanding. I mean, we have a long way to go, but it really is beautiful to see now that the world is starting to change. You know, with just different political shifts. Excuse me. With just different political shifts, you see how the world is starting to change to a more tolerable place, and you know, and it's good. But as we are saluting African Americans, and I just love how many of us got into a sport that was pretty much not called our own, that we just dominated. The African Americans in the wrestling sport, you really gotta tip your hat to them, because it's not like a sport. We're normally in something else, doing something else, and to mold into a wrestler and become these athletes, and become, to me, I get inspired by the Kenny Mondays and the Kevin Jacksons and the guys who were going and wrestling in tough times, and my Kemp, Lee Kemp, when they were wrestling, uh, excuse me, white people, being African Americans at a time where, dog, you don't know if you're gonna make it out of here if you win that match. Type of offense. That is big to me. That's huge, and sorry, that's where we're at.
Sure. Okay. One little game we like to play on our show is and you were on a while ago, but I don't think we were doing this yet. It's called Wins and Whoopins. So I want you to try to think back over your career of like all the matches you ever wrestled. One win that stands out, and maybe it's the David one, but it could be anything. One that stands out. It could be your best win, or just a really memorable one for any reason. And then a whooping. Just like this time, this guy kicked your ass, and you walked off the mat, and you just like felt like less of a man. And we've all been through both of those.
Yeah.
So if you can answer either one first, but I'm looking for one win, one whooping.
I'm gonna say the whipping, of course, was Metcalf in Iowa Hawkeye Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I hurt myself, but not only did I hurt myself, he pushed me to a level that I could never. Damn, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that type of, man. What was that? Like, I literally left the match thinking, okay, I hurt my knee, but skip all that. Even healthy, that train was still hitting that track. So what we got to do to get faster, to get strong? What do we got to do? And it really was a mental place of mind that. Like I said, I ran to practice every day after that. I went on another level. It sparked me to getting to the finals. Really, I'm not gonna lie. I probably, had I not taken that loss like that, I probably would have been All American that year. Someplace in fifth, fourth, whatever. Been All American that year. But the fact that he beat me like he beat me, and he put me in a place that I have never been or never seen. Shout out to Metcalf for it. It spurred me to be the national finalist that year, and a win. How can I not say the David Taylor match? But let me see. I have some sick. Oh, okay. There was this one match in Lehigh. I don't know if it was on TV, y'all might need to check the film. Try to get the film for me. There's this one match in Lehigh. I was wrestling the number 9 guy in the country, or number 7. I think it was Trevor Chin or something like that. And he hit me. He had a wrist try, and he had a high underhook, and he hit me with a high crotch. Boom! And as I saw him going with the high crotch, it was a clean high crotch. I couldn't do anything about it. So I hit him with a one-handed cartwheel, and I flipped over top of him, and I ankle picked him on my way out. And it was the cleanest takedown that I had ever done. Like, literally, he high crotch, I cartwheeled over top of him, and on my one-hand cartwheel, I snatched his ankle, and he kind of like flipped up, and I took him down. It was just the dirtiest. If y'all had dirty takedown of the week then, oh my goodness, it would still be a highlight. So y'all got to try to find that film. Penn State versus Lehigh. I cartwheel over Trevor Chin and get an ankle pick takedown right afterwards. That was probably my illest moment, where I walked off the mat like, you know what it is. You know what it is. So, man, that probably was it. Whippings and winnings. That was it.
All right, cool. And we're just about to half over, but I got one more. I don't know if it's a question or just something to tell you, but I know last time you were on, told a story about Lance Palmer and recruiting trip, and somehow it turned into something about dogs, and you sold him a dog, and he owes you money, alleged. Well, Lance came on, I don't know, a couple weeks later, and he said, "Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. The dog's paid for. I don't know what Bubba's talking about. He's crazy. The dog is paid off. There's no outstanding debt." Your rebuttal.
My rebuttal is, I'm going to come get my check. Don't worry about it. You can say what you say. I'm going to come get my check. I'm going to come see about mine. That's my rebuttal. If he believes that he does not owe me money, that's cool. I'm going to just come see about my money. I'm just go see about my money. I know where he at. He know where I'm at. I'm gonna come see him.
Is this in PFL or is this otherwise?
PFL.
PFL.
I
All
don't
right.
fight for free, baby. We don't fight for free. We get it. Come on, we don't do nothing for free no more.
How about this? Are the brackets set? Do you know where Lance is? Would you be the finals? Would you see him in the second match, or is that not set yet?
Y'all gonna have to stay tuned, and we don't know. Nah, it's not set. It's gonna be dropping here soon. Y'all just keep looking out. Keep looking out on the PFL. Keep looking out on my channels. It's going down real soon. April 23rd, we got a fight, so they gotta let people know soon. What's up? It's happening.
I hope it's the finals because what wrestling fan doesn't want to see that as the
Oh
PFL
yeah.
finals?
Oh yeah. Switch sports and still meet up. What's up?
It'd be outstanding. It'd be outstanding. All right. That pretty much does it. That covers it. Pretty much everything I think I wanted to talk about. You got any parting words for us
Man, check
today?
Batman out. I'm about to switch up everything, man. It's a new day coming. I'm going to be more of the Bubba J that I've always been, but I'm probably going to put more on social media out now, just because it's a new day and I'm ready to starting stardom.
Awesome. Bubba, I appreciate the time as always, and I wish you the best of luck on April 23rd, and we're going to be watching out for you.
My man, shalom. We'll see you guys.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.